Welcome to the third podcast today. Special guest is Alex boxing and boxing match. And he came on. He said, I want to talk about boxing match to promote myself, but he won't come on to other podcasts when we record. Remember when you show up for poker and then leave?
Yeah, you tricked me
Anyway,
into that.
special guest Alex. Everyone, round of applause.
Can I clap for myself?
No. Put your hands down.
Stop that.
Sorry.
You know I was going to give you shit when you sent that message.
Yeah, well, as soon as I pressed enter, I was like, I shouldn't have done that.
You're like, even if you had played it safe and come on like the week earlier too, then you wouldn't have gotten shit for it.
I know. To be fair,
Actually,
it was shit. It is a shit message.
Even Alex, if you had just said, I can come on the podcast this week and just didn't even tell us your motivations.
Well, don't you like me being honest, Will? The fact that I respect you enough to actually...
No, I do, because it lets me make fun of you.
Yeah, that's good. I knew this would be a bit.
I would prefer if you lied, actually. I don't really want to know what everyone actually is thinking or doing. I just want to, I want the ambiguity.
I found the conversation. At William Osman, can I come on the podcast next time and chat about the boxing match I'm doing? And I said, wow. That's all I said. And then you said, you were honest. Sorry, I only want free. I'm sorry. I only want you for promotion.
Because I read into the wow very heavily. I was like, that's a negative wow. I got to apologize for this one.
What about next week?
Well,
Are you busy next week?
I'll be in America next week, Will. So.
Oh, hey, we could do an in-person podcast next week.
There we go. You guys can help
Like you're trying to figure out how to get out of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Can we be like sparring partners with you? Do you need sparring partners to practice?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do 1v3. You guys can just beat me up.
Hell yeah.
After seeing some of the videos of people training, I don't think I'd want to fight any of them with zero training.
Yeah, but if it's three on one,
dude, that's like saying 100 people with their fist versus one guy with a gun. I don't know. Some people are gonna lose really bad.
I don't remember.
I think
who was it? When your really muscular friend Chase? There was that one time where it was me, Kevin, and Morgan put all our arms together and arm wrestled him, and we actually beat him 3-on-1. Remember that? We were
pretty good.
stacked into each other. We kind of nested inside of each other so that all of our arms were lined up, and we actually beat Chase.
Wait, speaking of people who haven't been here for a while.
Yeah,
Where
Nigel.
have you been, Alan?
Yeah. Looking
Nigel.
at you.
I'm always been
here
here.
everyone in this podcast.
I'm one of the only ones.
Nigel and I constantly talk about how do we make this podcast more efficient so we don't spend 3 hours sitting in front of a computer. I really want to do this in person, but everybody lives so far away, so we can't actually.
If you guys just moved to Canada, it'd be so easy.
Why? No, nobody wants to move to Canada. I'd rather move to Australia before Canada.
I'd rather die.
Do that.
Here's a good question. What is wrong with Canada? Serious answers only.
Okay. Follow-up question. What's good about Canada?
That's not an answer.
You
guys are so opposed to living here. What is so off-putting? What hurts you
I don't
so
understand
bad?
the opposition.
It's cold. There's no sun. Look how pale you are.
Yeah, because I live.
That's because he doesn't go outside.
Yeah, that's completely irrelevant.
There's no sun.
Yeah, well, clearly Canada doesn't have good weather to be outside in.
You could go to Vancouver, which has significantly better weather, because I'm on the East Coast, so it just gets cold.
No, honestly, I like Montreal. I really like Montreal.
Is that because they're French?
Yeah. Are we allowed to talk about all the things that we did in Montreal?
We can talk about some of the things we did.
Okay, I have a question. When you guys were in Montreal, did you go to the strip club?
Yes, absolutely.
We went. Alan. Well,
there's one
no.
There's one that's a few blocks from Nigel's house.
Alan. I would not. Okay, it's a technicality, right? It's a technicality.
It's a technicality.
We went, but did we go?
We went to the strip club.
If you're
What
talking
do you
about
mean?
how it was the saddest experience ever because of COVID rules.
Yeah, so if you go...
How long did this podcast take to completely derail?
If you go to Alex, if you go to McDonald's and you go and you make the journey to McDonald's and then the doors are locked and the drive-thru's closed, you still went to McDonald's.
You still went there because you in your mind intended to eat
No.
McDonald's.
It's more like
you intended to go kiss a stripper.
Go to the McDonald's. It's open, but every machine they have is broken except for I don't know. What's the worst
Is
thing
this
at
your
McDonald's?
analogy for
The
strippers?
bathroom.
Alan. I would not. Don't describe anything. No, don't be rude.
Yeah,
don't be
describe
rude. Don't be
strippers as
rude.
broken machines.
Every item in the McDonald's is unavailable except for like
Okay.
a soda. And then you order a soda.
They're
Did
all
you
out
go
of
to
order.
McDonald's? You did go to McDonald's.
Alex, the best way. So what happened was, Alan was very, very excited to see what Montreal had to offer. So I, as a host, was trying to give him the best Montreal experience. So we went to a place, and there's nobody there. Like literally.
Nothing gives me more joy
Literally-
than watching Nigel try to describe
No.
it.
Yeah, in a good way.
We were the only people there. We literally walked in, and the bouncer's like, "Look, man, honestly, I don't blame you if you just leave." Because he just said that.
Did they charge you at the door?
Well,
There's no
they
strippers here. We have to
I
call
think
one
they
and wake
normally
her up and
would,
get her
but
to
he just
dance.
said there was not a single patron in the place. We were the only people there, and he was like, "There's one person here working, and she was about to leave." Like
We
I don't
caught her
really
just in the nick of time.
Like I don't understand how would they've just stayed open when there's nobody there? I don't really get it.
I think they were hoping that we would show up. I think they were hoping that we would come along.
So it was empty. Literally, almost nobody was there.
Is that a good experience or a bad?
I think it was
experience?
great, especially the whole time
That's
Nigel
funny.
was like talking about like how awesome the place was. Like it was like normally
I
supposed
did
to be
not.
like
I
poppin',
did not
like,
say it was
Yes, you
awesome.
Now you're making Nigel sound like a regular.
He's so bad.
I did not say it was awesome, Alan.
Yes, you did. Yes, liar.
Alan, you can say anything you want right now,
And
and
we
we're
would
all gonna
believe
believe it.
So what I said, Alan, was I said it's shocking one way because it's in a suburb basically, like it's not in a downtown area. So I said what's shocking is that it's in a suburb, but it's like not as dead as you think it would be. But then we went in, there was nobody.
This is McDonald's.
Yeah, and only the soda machine was working at the McDonald's.
Would have been so good if you went with Nigel Allen and the security guard like knew his name and was like, "Welcome back, man. You in for the usual?" Like,
Welcome.
Sorry,
Oh,
Nigel. Sorry,
So
Nigel.
Nigel.
What we didn't realize was that, I mean, we figured this out after. It's because the day we went was because it was the only night when Alan was in town that we had time to go. And it just so happened that was the first day that the COVID rules lifted and actually allowed strippers to be there. Before that, it was just a restaurant.
Wait, strippers? I thought we were talking about McDonald's.
It's a
No,
metaphor.
I'm talking about the strip club.
What would be worse, the bouncer knowing your name or the soda machine knowing your
You
name?
can't call him. Refer to. I honestly,
No.
neither of them are.
Probably
There's
soda
nothing wrong
machine.
with either of them.
Yeah.
I didn't say
Oh,
what
what's
was wrong. I said
worse?
which would be worse.
I think it's weirder if it's one of those like robot soda machines and it knows your name when you put the cup up to it.
robot.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
that's way
weird.
worse.
That would have been like you program the machine or something. How does that even work?
I've only been to, I think, a strip club twice in my life, and I did not like it. It was honestly, like, I don't even want to say sad. I want to say. No, I was gonna say, damn it, sad is what I was gonna say. I don't want to
You
say
do
it made
wanna
me
say
uncomfortable. It made me sad.
Yeah.
Why?
Like,
I've been twice
think-
as well, and I felt extremely sad. I was like, this is a horrible place.
yeah.
Alan's
Why?
like, nah. Well, Alan. So here's the thing. To
Does not
defend
make me
you,
sad.
Alan, the reason that you didn't feel sad was because there was nobody there.
To feel sad for you.
There was
No, you know what
there
is
was-
sad?
it's-
what happened right after. Like after we left the strip club, do you remember when we were sitting in the car and we saw like this like car pull up and this like it was like a clown car like bros.
Yeah, like
I swear to God,
9
there was
guys.
like half a dozen bros came out of that car and like it's watching like a disaster in slow motion because they're walking towards the strip club and we already know that there's no one in there. And they're like really excited and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, so they left in 1 sec. It was literally they all walked in and then they all came out.
Turned around and walked out.
But I just want to say the reason it's which I agree with you guys, like it being sad is like, it's the whole like obvious atmosphere of the entire premise. Yeah, I mean that's it. You know what? That's my entire point.
Everything.
That's it.
It's like it's the whole experience is what makes it sad because it's like the people that are in there, like as customers.
Oh, I just go for the food. I just go for the hot wings.
Is that a thing? They give you free hot wings?
I don't think they're free.
No, nothing's free.
Yeah, I don't think you'd ever
some
get
places
free
will
food.
give you free food, but I mean,
Really?
it's like there'll be like a cover at the door, but then the food is free. It's like one of those sorts of things.
I like a one drink and
Yeah,
one
yeah.
chicken wing.
One chicken wing.
That's pretty good.
One chicken wing.
The first strip club I went to was so fucked up. It wasn't in Australia. It was in Thailand.
Oh, no.
And it
Oh,
was
no.
one of those ones that just like its whole shtick is that it like degrades women. So that the reason everyone went to this one in Pattaya was because it was called like a ping pong show. So girls would like,
no.
you know,
I thought that was a meme. I didn't know
no, it's
that was
real. But it
Oh
got
my
it got
God.
so much worse than ping pongs. There was one that would do this thing where she would smoke cigarettes up her vagina, and then men would come on stage and she would blow the smoke out onto them.
No. Oh my
Okay,
god.
So I don't
And
think you went to a strip club. I don't think you can even
So this
include
is
that in the same
where-
category.
And I'm like, why does Alan want this? Why does Alan want to see this?
wait. I have a
That's
question. Were
like-
you at all prepared for that when you went to it?
We were a little bit drunk and we thought, because it's just something people recommend. They're like, oh, you got to go see the ping pong show in Pattaya. But then I didn't know it would literally be families watching these girls. Like it was so fucked up. It's like the worst thing I've ever
What do you
seen.
mean? Describe families.
It was like, looked like a dad with his son that was probably like 17 would go in and see this 40-year-old
Oh
woman
my God.
smoke cigarettes out of her vagina. And I had a mate, I'll say who it is. It was Alexa. He went up on stage and she got like a blowgun, put a dart inside it, put it to her vagina, and she popped balloons that he placed like in between his arms, under his legs.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And they just like pull people from the audience.
Just pull
that,
people.
I will tell you this,
Okay,
Alex.
that doesn't even sound sad
that
anymore,
doesn't
though.
even
That
count.
sounds awesome. At first, it was really sad, and then, like, as it kept going, once the blowgun comes out, it actually looped back around. I was like, holy crap, that sounds amazing.
Well, it's almost so fucked up it becomes like something you would see in Star Wars, like this weird, like dystopian strip club with like
Jabba the Hutt.
yeah, that's what it
runs
felt
the strip
like.
club. They're like, what's like the worst thing we could think of? We're like the thing that like nobody really wants to see, but like I like would you go back?
Because it's like
No.
Jabba the Hutt was supposed to be this like
exactly.
really bad gangster, but nothing like that happened in his like weird bar of villainy or whatever. Right? It's supposed to be like the worst scum of the universe in that Star Wars place, but they didn't have a single
Turns
lady.
out that it's actually in Thailand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even as bad as Thailand. It's like...
How much did it cost?
So the worst part was it was free entry, and what they expected was for you to buy drinks inside, but because we were like 19-year-old fucking students, we didn't buy drinks inside. We just went inside and just fucking gasped in horror. It was-
So then that means they're like getting paid like a flat rate, or do
Oh,
people
it would
tip
be.
them, or
So I think people were tipping them, but it was
Oh my
fucked.
God.
It was fucked.
Wow, what a business model.
Yeah, so I would not count that as one of your trips to a strip club.
No, okay.
I would
would too.
definitely not count that as because like at that point it's not even it's just like a weird spectacle and
Yeah, it's like a freak circus.
Yeah.
Like it's-
what?
yeah.
What else? What else do they have in Thailand that you can do?
What do you mean? Are you talking about illegal things
Nah,
you can do?
I'm just
or-
thinking like if I ever
What wholesome things
because
can
I
you
want to
do
go
in
to
Thailand?
Thailand, but now I'm not so sure I want to go to Thailand. So now I need someone to like hype me back up to go into Thailand.
You can go take pictures with tigers that have been drugged so they don't eat you.
That's even worse somehow.
Okay. Do they have tigers that can do the ping pong ball trick?
I would you look into that.
oh no.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to go for myself and see what Thailand has to offer.
Drug
Maybe you just
tiger.
have to develop this skill, Will, and you can do it whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't need to pay to see someone else do it.
Alan, you have to say the wholesome things you did here. Well, I showed you a lot of Montreal.
Yeah, okay. Other than the nasty, disgusting things that Nigel showed me, like we went to the casino
Alan,
before
we went to
to
that
the
strip club.
club.
I think we were there for like maybe 10 minutes. Maybe.
It was still well worth it.
9
Okay.
minutes and 59 seconds we're talking to the bouncer.
I know Nigel's gonna dispute this, but it's 100% true. He is actually like, I don't know how he's very good at gambling. That's kind of an oxymoron because it's not even like blackjack or poker. Like the slot machines, Nigel prints money from slot machines like they're ATMs. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I have to say, the like same casino, I think it was a year ago, I signed up and I'd never had an account, so they gave me $25 that you have to gamble. You can't withdraw it. I'm proud to say I turned that into $1,300.
What? No way. What?
He does that all the time.
Jesus. That's like a 100. Wait, 10x?
That's insane.
No, 100x.
Yeah, we hit some
50x. How?
I don't know, man.
Are you counting cards or
It's
something?
just
No, it was
Nigel.
the slots. It was the slot machine.
I swear, because we went with one of Nigel's friends, and the whole time he was talking about like sort of like this crazy luck that Nigel has, and the whole time Nigel's like, no, like you only saw like when I was winning, you didn't see like when I lost, like it's just like it's an illusion.
It's
and we
true,
go to the
though.
casino, and Nigel's like showing me one of the machines. He sits down. The first thing he does, he like hits it, and it like makes $40 comes out. Like it immediately.
Those magical fingers.
Yeah. Just
It
for
lined
the
up
rest
pretty
of the
good.
night.
Wow.
We created the gambling illusion for Alan. I don't actually win all the time. I'll keep saying it.
The first time I went gambling, I was 18. I don't know the gambling age. The gambling age is usually 21, but that's usually not the gambling, it's the alcohol. But there is a casino near me that doesn't do alcohol, and so it's 18. Or you have to go to
Wait,
the
so
bars,
you
and
can
they don't-
gamble, but you can't drink?
They don't serve alcohol at the machines or tables, I think is how it works. Because Vegas, you have to be 21, I think, because they serve alcohol inside of the casino.
Okay.
Anyways, I played blackjack, and I think I turned like $20 into like $200 or something. And I'm like, hell yeah, like I'm good at blackjack. And then I went back a second time, like a couple months later, and then I lost like $60, and I was like, I'm not good at gambling. And that's pretty much the only gambling I've really ever done, other than like $20 here and there at a slot machine every time we pass.
There is a strategy.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
And
you got to time the 50 hertz AC
no,
line.
yeah, basically. And if you kick the machine at the right time, it glitches. No.
You unplug the power cord and
Yeah,
then
put it back
you
in.
pause the screen on what you want.
No, what I've realized is, I mean, it's not even like a theory, is you'll always lose long term. So you have to you basically
Yeah.
the way that I would win. Normally, like I don't win that big. When I go with friends, you put in 20, and oftentimes you'll on like this.
I would like to say that this is not actual official
Gambling
advice, and that statistically speaking, everything Nigel's saying
it's
is
only
wrong.
one.
However,
There's only
continue.
one machine I ever gamble on, and usually if you put $20 in, and you bet max, which is like $3 each, you usually more often than not, you'll win $15. So you have like 35, and you just cash out. You have like if you keep going, you'll end with 0. So like the trick is you pretty much hit the button sometimes like 3 times, and that's it. And then if you come separate times, doing that just you don't win big, but it pays for your gas and
my
like
God.
You know something funny though? I do think, like, statistically speaking, right, you are guaranteed to
Yes.
lose. However, I think that there is like a human psychology aspect that gives the casino an even bigger advantage, and that is even if you do win, for some reason, I bet you even if you gave like somebody with a gambling addiction, you gave them like a rule book that says if you win more than $10 in the first 5 minutes, leave the casino, they would not be able to do it.
No, but I've learned that if you are okay not winning a lot, you'll be good usually.
Just walk
But that's
away.
I think like I noticed that with the bit. What was the game that
Bust
we
a
were
bit?
playing?
Yeah.
Bust a bit. That it's a whole long story. Kevin turned like almost no money into like a couple $1,000s, and it's almost like it's like half of the game is just
Your own psychology.
getting
Yeah.
greedy.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the less greedy you are, the higher the likelihood you can actually make money. Because like Kevin was like consistently actually doing okay, which to me was like kind of mind-blowing. I don't understand this, but I think maybe I don't know how the platform works, but I think I'm just speculating right now. But I'm thinking maybe the platform should. Okay, let's explain how the game works. Also, don't Don't. Also,
I
don't.
forgot about the time.
Bad
Don't do
game.
this. This is gambling. Gambling's bad. I will never. Gambling is bad, and if
Yeah.
you think gambling is anything other than bad, you're an idiot. However, it can be fun, and you have to be prepared to. Any money you put in there,
It's not
You don't
fun.
get it. Well,
prepared to not walk
I
away
have
with.
I have a scheme. I came up with a way to win every
No,
time.
shut up. No schemes. Schemes are bad. Okay, so Bust a Bit is a like I don't know. It's like a crypto based. It's just a freaking casino, and the way it works is really stupid. There's a graph, and it just plots time, and the longer it goes, that time number. So if it's 2 seconds or 3 seconds, is a multiplier to your initial bet. However, it can crash, and so what you have to do is you have to click get out. You can set automatic ones too. And you have to click get out before it crashes. And so if you bet $10 and it gets up to 2 seconds and you click get out, you get $20. However, if it gets up to 2.1 seconds and crashes and you haven't pressed it, then you lose the money. And sometimes it'll go up to like hundreds of seconds. And sometimes it'll be like 1.1 seconds. And it's like, it is actually like insanity because you get to watch a live playing field of everybody who's in like the same room as you virtually playing. There's a whole scoreboard in real time, and it's like it's actually
I was gonna say it
ridiculous to
starts
watch.
seconds, but then it actually gets faster and faster. So I think it's like 1 second, 2 seconds, then it
does
goes
it?
exponential. So it's like it will start
so
going
it's not
crazy
time,
because
it's
I
just-
remember there was a
okay.
guy I think who bet 1 bit or whatever, like 1/millionth of a Bitcoin, and he multiplied it by 1,000,000. He let it ride to 1,000,000. It's like why?
Dude,
Insane.
in these lobbies, you could see people betting like tens of thousands of dollars on a single run.
It's so fucked. But the fucked up thing is, even if they win, because there's other people in the lobby, that means the game still wins because those other people lost. So it's like,
So my conspiracy theory is like obviously these websites make money. Like they will never develop an algorithm that loses their money. Like it always consistently will make the money, which is fair. Like if you're running a gambling site like that, it's kind of expected that you have to somehow make money. I don't know if it's algorithmically generated or if it actually is truly random, where it will essentially change the odds dynamically. Like maybe it doesn't actually look what people are doing in the moment, so it is truly random in the moment, but maybe like over time it will. Like I have no idea.
Well, I mean, I
how
think
it
that's the
works.
biggest problem with all of the like the crypto-based gambling stuff is that they're not regulated, right? So you have to just trust that they're quote unquote fair. I would not doubt that there's literally an algorithm that just makes sure. Like I wouldn't think that they're taking a 10% edge. That'd be crazy. But to have it where it's just algorithmically
Even
that they're getting
1%.
1% just over time. Like I feel like that's pretty much expected. Like otherwise, how do they make their money? But I do not know the inner workings of how it, because sometimes it explodes at like a 1.01 multiplier. So it's like you never even had a chance to make any money.
So I wonder if there is some weighting or if it actually is completely.
It could be
random, or
completely
maybe some
random.
combination.
I have no
of-
idea.
Is there like legislation for like everything that's online or like at a slot machine? Like it's not going to be true random. It's going to be pseudo random. But that has to be
So
like
it turns out the government is stupid and old and doesn't know how to do this, and the only thing that's regulated is like in-person stuff. I think the online stuff is like Wild West.
Wait,
right
really?
Because none of them are hosted here. Yeah, I think they're all hosted in other
If you're
countries.
hosted, because I know what the Bitcoin stuff, for a lot of them, they're in Curacao or something, and it's like some of them would be like, as a U.S. citizen, you're not legally allowed playing on them, but they don't enforce anything, right? So it's like that's how they get around it. But it's like if you want to legally allow a U.S. citizen to play, then you have to follow those laws.
oh
I definitely feel like Bust a Bit in a giant arena with like 1,000 people playing at the same time would be absolutely magical.
no, that would be like a bloodbath.
No, but you're not playing against each other though.
I mean, you are and you aren't, though. Because if someone, people will still lose.
Well,
and
okay, so I guess if we don't know exactly how it works, but
Yeah.
like the game itself, you are playing against the house. Who knows what the house is doing behind
Yeah.
the scenes?
Me and my mate had the best way of always winning against the casino. So at Star
Always.
City, literally every single time. So at Star City in Sydney, there was this area just before the high rollers room, which was a big fountain. And basically all the high rollers would come out, and for good luck, they would chuck their chips into the fountain.
Oh.
So me and my mates would go roll up our jeans at like 2 a.m. and just walk around in the fountain collecting money. And then what we would do is we would get those chips and take them to to blackjack and spend them. And one time, like I kid you not, the woman was like, "Why are these chips wet?"
So wait, your method to always win was to steal.
Yeah, that's not stealing, Nigel. They were thrown away into a fountain. A security guard did tell us once that they were going to charity, but we were like, no, we don't believe you. That's bullshit.
Didn't you got banned?
Yeah, I got banned. Not for that,
but for the chaser,
the COVID stunt of coming in with a really hot head, and then they were like, no, you lied, you fabricated that.
I love the idea that a casino is like the ethical board for deciding that you did something wrong.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, oh, okay, thanks, Mr. Casino, for telling me I did something bad.
And it's like how
what you did was very unethical, son.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to know, how could they prove that I didn't have a hot head? Are they admitting they have thermal cameras like permanently set up in the casino to scan everyone's temperature or something? Like,
dude, I think they're just trying to throw someone else under the bus so they don't get in trouble.
Definitely.
That's 100%. Dude, no one does anything unless it keeps them from getting in trouble. That's like how half the world works, dude. Like the instant that somebody has to provide something, like a better service, or it'll like cut their bottom line, then they start trying really hard.
Should we talk about the boxing match?
No.
No.
If Alex comes on a second podcast.
Also, when does this podcast go out?
I think on the 16th or the 15th of May.
Well, that's after. You should do it exactly the same time as the boxing match.
Okay, so speaking of gambling with money, how about gambling with the neurons in your brain by?
But you could also bet on
think?
Alex, right? There is the ability to.
Is there betting? I don't know if there's betting.
Is there betting? I have no idea.
Wait, what do you mean?
Because if there was betting, I would definitely.
I thought you said, I don't know if that is betting. I'm like, wow, this guy's confident.
Wait. Is there betting? Wait, I don't know. I feel like this just got more exciting.
I mean, we could definitely do it internally.
We can have some unsanctioned. Yeah,
I want to hear. Can we get your guys' your reactions and bets on who you think's gonna win?
Oh man, I literally cannot even begin.
Because I reckon I can call it.
Yeah.
Okay.
For who? You and Odd One's Out?
No, I'm not going to say that. Obviously, I'm going to
You're
win.
like, yeah, Odd One's Out's going to win.
Wait, that would
That's
be
actually probably the only fight you could call is saying that your opponent.
Wait, imagine how funny that would be if I trained all this time, flew all the way to America, and I just get knocked out straight away in the first round.
Wait, but I mean that is possible.
I know it is possible, but no, I'm going to win.
Are you worried about like actually getting hit and being even dumber than you currently are after the fight?
Well, the thing, a little bit, because when I first said yes to this, I don't think I really kind of truly considered how horrible a sport boxing is. And then only when I started it and did my first spar, I was like, holy shit, getting hit hard in the head sucks. And then you do it again and you do it again. And I've done like a lot of sparring now. And it's like, even because when I watched boxing, I thought the shots where they didn't get knocked out, I thought that didn't hurt. But no, you get like black flashes, which is obviously your brain bouncing around inside your head. And you just do this over and over and over again. And like, you get this feeling as well when you've been in a spar where like my coach describes it as being heady, which is essentially you just feel hungover for like 5 days. And he's like, oh, don't worry about that. That's normal. I'm like, you're saying I'm concussed. That's normal. I'm like, what the fuck is this for?
It's like when he goes, that's normal. I find it funny because it's like, that's normal, yeah, if you have a concussion. But it's not normal to have the concussion.
No. No.
He's like, he has a very relative idea of normal.
Exactly. For my boxing coach that is always concussed.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the problem is that his normal, the more brain damage you get, the more you don't realize that is not normal.
Well, that is true. Like the more I get hit now, the less it hurts.
So you're saying
tell me this is normal.
So it's just the middle ground that's bad when you're aware of your brain damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how you can see. That's when you know it's disappearing. Your intelligence.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I'm pretty good. I don't really notice anything when I get knocked around.
At some point, you're like, I can't tell the difference.
But the thing, you're saying this is a joke. I literally had a boxer tell me, he's like, yeah, bro, it's only like the first couple of hits that really hurt, and then you've lost your brain cells, so it's fine.
Oh God.
They actually said that?
Yeah, he actually said that.
Oh,
Like, couple of hits for a given fight or in general?
No, he was just saying in general. Just
you get hit a few times and that's it?
Yeah, then
It's
you're
like
fine.
callus on your hands. Your brain can
Callus.
develop callus.
It's like
protect it from
going to concerts and the music's so loud that your ears ring, but eventually it stops happening. It's because your hearing is
I
just
think
worse
that's
now.
it.
So how many times have you been hit in the head?
I'm not telling you that, William. No, probably in total. I don't
It's like I can't remember.
I don't know.
Wait,
Why
what?
am I here again? Who are you?
Oh no, this is like flowers for Algernon.
No.
I don't want to
Why?
I don't want to quantify it because then it's just
Wait,
depressing.
quantify what?
I don't. How many times I've been hit in the head while training?
Is it true that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger?
Yes,
Un-
definitely.
unequivocally,
I am more
yes.
intelligent now that I've started boxing. It's shit though because there are some great things about boxing, like the fitness is awesome.
Right.
The fitness and just how competitive it is. Like I like competitive sports and the fact that it's just you one-on-one with another guy trying to figure him out. And then when you do something sneaky and you hit him, it's almost like, haha, I tricked you. And you get this feeling of satisfaction. But I'm not an aggressive person. So some guys love knocking people out. And like the first time I landed a proper hit on someone, I stopped and was like, I'm sorry. And my coach was like, what the fuck are you doing? Hit him again. And I was like, oh shit. Like,
No,
oh,
kill
fuck.
him.
Yeah.
Finish him.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So it's like, it's a strange sport.
That's the brain damage, dude.
What?
That's what the
Yeah.
training is. The training is just inducing more and more brain damage
Yeah.
until you become a boxer that's basically immune to pain and more brain damage. You know, you ever seen like the videos of like the little, I saw it on Reddit the other day, the little rat car where they took the brain out of the rat and put neurons in it and it like drives around. They literally just like reduce your brain to like 3 or 4 neurons.
You saying that's going to happen to me?
And then you can just kill people.
Well, hey, you can still drive a car.
Yeah, that's at least I got that to look forward to.
So, okay. Do they do this like can you wear a helmet or can you like just do boxing but no base
So
shots?
there is it's head protection, but in terms of preventing concussions, it doesn't really do that because when you get hit, your head still moves, right? So
Yeah, but any sort of like damping, like any sort of like
it
ability
does a
to
bit,
reduce
but
the jerk.
it does, but it more just prevents superficial cuts. But there was actually a study done, and they found that boxers that wore headgear actually sustained worse concussive injuries because the fights went for longer, which means they got more blows to the head instead of breaking your nose and then
One and done.
and one and done. Yeah, so it's.
I think the ultimate
it's a
solution
trade-off.
is don't get hit in the head.
Yeah, well, that's my plan.
I mean,
I'm
if you're
just
good,
going
if you're
to-
good enough,
get hit.
you should never get hit.
I'm going to do
right?
this one the whole time.
You're gonna be on the ground doing that.
Yeah.
So they call it, like, when your arm starts
Fencing- it's
like
the fencing
shooting
position.
up. What do they call that?
It's like
No, there's a term when your arm starts
I'm
like.
pretty sure it's
like,
called like
just-
the fencing.
Oh yeah, that sounds
fencing
right. Like you have no
position.
control, and you're for whatever reason your
Or it's the
arms
fencing
just start,
response.
like-
Yeah, it's the fencing.
Is that a true
response.
thing? That's sick.
Fencing
yeah,
response?
it's true.
Yeah.
Whoa.
If you get
If you get like a
concussed, yeah.
concussion or something, your arm will literally you'll be like if you're on the ground, your arm will just start like floating
Ugh.
up and just be like.
You see it in
pointing
And that's
UFC.
just
Like when a lot of people get knocked out, you do see it in UFC.
But could that be because
Yeah.
they're trained athletes, so it's such an instinct?
It says
No,
immediately
it's
after
such-
moderate
no.
forces have been applied to the brain stem. 1 second.
Oh.
It's like some horrible thing
It
going
says
on.
the forearms
Back
are
of your
held
brain.
flexed or extended after you get hit in the brain stem. You know, that's I mean,
Like that's not even your brain, dude.
The
That's like
stem
some,
of your brain.
some, like deep.
Your lizard
Yeah, what is
ancestors.
that? That's some fucking trait from 2 billion years ago that we had,
the fish
Yeah.
that you were descended from is trying to help you in any way it can.
Exactly.
Am I doing a good job? No, you're not.
Don't eat me. That fish is like, I've got it from here.
Get you killed. Yeah, that was like my biggest concern because I was considering we had a whole.
Well, I
lot,
asked
we
you.
Talked about.
I asked you if you'd box me.
Yeah.
You said no because we're at similar height,
How tall are you?
6'3.5".
You're like just slightly too tall. I'm like almost 6'1".
you guys are all tall.
2 inches
I'm
is a
just little
lot.
kid around you guys.
And how much do you weigh?
I'm 88 at the moment.
88
Oh,
pounds.
So it's
American
like
units,
100,
yeah.
195, 190.
I probably I
88,
don't. If I had been training for 6 months, maybe I could get up to that because I sit around
194.
like 175. So I'd have to
Wait,
gain
how much do you
like
weigh, Will?
20 pounds, like 175.
Because I remember when you came to Australia, we both went on the
I was fat.
You went on the scales, and you were depressed that you were the same as me.
No, I was fat.
Wait, Alex, who are you? You have to make your calls. Who's gonna win the fights?
Oh, I guess main fight is what iDubbbz versus Dr. Mike, and that is a really hard one to call because if Dr. Mike has actually been boxing for 10 years, then it's just such an advantage. It's pretty fucked. But I think Ian's maybe got that crazy underdog factor.
The only thing I can think about Ian is that like Ian does not. He does not half-ass anything.
Yeah.
And so, like, Ian was training for this literally 6 months before it was even, like, on the move, this whole event.
And I kind of trust that he would only take the fight if he knew he had a chance as well.
Here's my speculation. Okay, because I'm not a boxer. But if I had to guess, most of your training is just about defending yourself.
It depends.
Is that the most important part?
It really depends on... Yeah, well, that obviously is very important because if you've got power and you get knocked out, you can't even use it, you know?
Right.
But it really depends. There's different aspects to training.
Because my guess is like offense is also kind of defense where it's like if you're aggressive with them, they're going to be more careful with you.
Yeah. That is a big part of it.
Have to be able...
If you're offensive, then they don't have the time to kind of dictate the fight. So if you're the one dictating the fight, you're the one being aggressive, then most of the time it's easier for you because you don't have to react to as many things like they do.
But then you also could if you just take a bunch of hits but protect your head and just let them get tired.
Yeah. That's the thing is like I thought you could do that as well, but like let's say you got your hands up in front of your face, right? You're covering your face. If you get hit in the hands, your hands still hit you in the face.
Go right into your face.
And that fucking hurts.
And and getting body shots is not...
Oh, the body shots. And I learned that very quickly because at my sparring gym, because I'm quite tall, the only guys that are the same height as me are fucking massive, like Islander guys that weigh like literally 120 kilos, which is, 250 pounds.
Yeah.
And I will... jab them, right? I'll hit them directly in the face. They don't flinch. And then one of their jabs hits me and I'm just like, fuck. Like, yeah.
Have you like pissed blood or anything after sparring?
Oh, I've had fucked jaw. I've had it just where my nose won't stop bleeding for days after I get hit in the nose. Yeah. Like it'll start and then it'll stop and then I'll wake up at night and I'm like, oh, my nose. And then I go snorkeling and because of the pressure, I take off my mask and the whole thing is filled with blood. Like 2 days later.
And then the sharks come.
And then exactly.
So how realistic are the Rocky movies?
Extremely realistic.
Yeah.
Have you listened to that montage at least once?
I haven't by choice, but my coach insists on playing it.
Yeah,
are you serious?
I'm not joking.
That's so
And he's
funny.
like, you're going to be world champion. You're going to be world champion. I'm
That's
like,
like half the neurons in his brain are dedicated to remembering that song has to play while training.
literally.
Did he make
It
you
works
run
a
after
little
a
bit.
chicken? Did you have to chase a chicken?
No, is that part of Rocky?
That was in Rocky 3, I think, because each of the Rocky movies, there's like a different strategy that he has to like learn, and I think it was in the third one he had to become faster, and so they let like a chicken on the loose, and he had to run and catch it, and that was like his training.
Well, I've still got time.
What's your strategy? What's your like the one thing you're doing?
Well, I'm not going to tell you. Well, I've got one thing I do very well.
Okay. No, but I'm saying I'm
not going to tell.
No, but Alan, like you don't have to say it, but like what Alan said, you gotta have there's like one unique thing that you're training for, like chasing chickens or something. You know,
Kicking people in the balls.
for chasing them for speed, I guess.
Kissing my opponent until they love me.
That was going to be my thing. My thing was to during the match,
until they
I'm
love
planning to hit on odd ones out, so he gets really confused and mixed messages. Just be really creepy, like touch his elbows, stroke his face.
Like when that thing where like the boxers are like leaning on each other, you just start kissing his neck.
Just mwah.
Just real tender kisses.
What if you do a video on do the strategies from Rocky actually work?
That's very funny. Chasing chickens.
What are the other strats?
Is that too old of a reference? I've
I don't
never
actually
seen
know.
He
You've never
carries
seen
a
any
lot-
of the,
he
I've seen every Rocky movie and the Creed movies now, like the
So
spin-off.
Alan, what are the other strategies that Alex can incorporate into his training?
Tell me, Alan.
So The first movie was just Rocky was like washed up. He was like 30 years old, and so he was just like trying to like get into shape. Somehow that never became an issue again, even though he only got older over time. It's only in the first movie where they're like, "You're 30 years old, you can't do this." And he's like,
yeah, but he established
in the last
himself.
one, or 55.
He established himself.
Right. So then in the second movie, it doesn't make any sense. He goes with this strategy of, because he's a southpaw, right? And so in the second movie, like his trick is he learns to fight right-handed, and he was going to switch like halfway through the match to really mess up Apollo Creed in their rematch. But then like during the match, he's like, "No tricks, I don't want any tricks," and so he fights the whole thing right-handed, which I don't really know what.
Well,
the
it's
point of that
interesting
was.
you should mention that, because I was trying to find out how Odd Ones Out fights. And you can see there's videos of him animating. And when he animates, he actually does it with his left hand, right? But then when I found out from the organizers that he fights orthodox, so that means that he knows how to use his left hand as well. So he's probably
doing Rocky 2.
He's doing Rocky 2. He's watched that and he's going to be like, oh.
He's going to switch it up on you.
He's going to switch it up on me.
He's doing a Rocky 2. Rocky 3, I think, was the speed one. He gets like real lean and he gets really fast. Rocky 4, which one was Rocky 4? That was the Russia one, right? Where he like goes and fights in Russia.
You're saying right as though any of us have any clue.
Yeah,
I don't think there wasn't a strategy in that one. He just trained like in the Russian wilderness and somehow.
Alan, you should be doing this boxing.
That's a strategy.
Yes, with
Should be
all
you
my
in
Rocky
here.
strategies.
Alan can fight you. Alan, how tall are you? You're taller than me. Right?
I'm 6'2", and right now I'm like 200 pounds. So actually, I'm like.
Yeah, you and me
like,
can fight.
I could spar with Alex and just get my fucking face caved in. Like, I'm sweating just sitting here talking about Rocky. It's like hot here right now. I like didn't turn my AC down enough. So I'm like, oh yeah. So in Rocky 5, it's more of a street fight.
Rocky could chase my chicken.
Oh wait, Alex. So who's gonna win each fight?
Okay, so the title fight is iDubbbz versus Dr. Mike, who Dr. Mike apparently has been fighting for 10 years. Ian has been fighting for about a year.
And I think it's going to be close. I don't think there's going to be a knockout, but I reckon it will be. I reckon Dr. Mike will probably take it.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would be more surprised if Ian won, I think. But I also would not bet against Ian.
No.
Like, Ian, I think, has probably trained more than Dr. Mike has trained. Like, I don't know exactly what Dr. Mike's training regimen, but I would say, like, I bet you Ian has trained more in this, like, 6 months than Dr. Mike has trained in, like, the past year.
Oh, 100%. And you can get a lot done. Like, you can very quickly change from a complete novice to someone that knows how to not get hit, which was quite like a revolution for me. I was like, oh, you know, I can do this and do this.
I don't have to.
I don't have to get hit in the head.
How many of those did it take?
No, I'm not saying a number. I just don't want to quantify it for myself and put it out there. You know, I don't want to. I just don't want to think about
it's like
it.
how many hours I've played Call of Duty.
Yeah, you don't want to know that.
I don't want to know.
But Dr. Mike, what do you think of Michael Reeves versus Graham Stephan?
I think that is honestly why Creator Clash is so great, because I have no idea. Michael's got some like goblin strength.
He does.
We used to work out, and he's like a lot stronger than you think he would be. Like, you think that he'd sort of be this fat little, you know, marshmallow, but he's actually like a full-sized man condensed into a little smaller sized man.
Like a Bruce Lee kind of a thing.
Yes, like very just dense.
If he embraces his inner goblin, he will 100% win this. Just goes full goblin mode and just overpowers him round one.
What if he just gets out? He's like, goblin mode, and
just starts shrieking.
That would be amazing.
If he did that and he lost, I think that would.
Oh, this would be great. It's still on brand.
I find it just interesting that Michael's even in this fight.
I feel like the bet I'd be confident taking is like, is he even gonna actually get into the arena to drop out like he did before?
No, but even Graham Stephan, it's like it just doesn't. It seems like in my mind, two people who wouldn't join a boxing match.
Yeah.
Here, I'll tell you what it is. I'm confident. I know why everybody else is doing this. They just like they need something in their lives that's completely different than what they've been doing.
That's why I did it as well. I was like, it's just so weird to do. Like,
like Alex Ernst.
Yeah, I was also surprised to see him there too.
Is he on this list? Or
he's still on there. He's fighting Ryan from Super Mega.
Yeah, so I told Ian, I was like, you should ask Alex. Because Alex is one of those people who's sort of just been like trying to figure out what to do. You know, he's kind of been doing YouTube. He had some success doing it, but he just was sort of just like in this rut. And I'm like, he wants to get in shape. Like he constantly talks about like getting in shape. And I'm like, this 100% Alex is the kind of guy who's crazy enough to just say yes to something like this. And he's doing it. And he did it. And I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure that's why I would have done it if I did it, is just to do something completely different and to get into better shape. Like, I'm not in bad shape, but I'm not in shape. Like I'm just, you know,
plays COD a lot
sits in a chair.
and drinks Red Bull.
And so I feel like I can kind of understand the angle that like Michael would take or Graham Stephan would take. Would just be like, all right, let's do something completely hilariously different.
Do you know how seriously Alex has been like taking it? Has he been training like a lot?
Yeah, he's been training a lot.
Would your money be on Alex Ernst then?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's it.
I would not want to fight Alex.
Yeah. There's a couple I have no idea what's going to happen.
Alex has that hobgoblins.
There's a lot of goblin.
A lot of goblins.
A lot of goblin strength in this fight.
Well, hobgoblin is different.
Okay.
I'm talking
Entirely
like
different species.
He's got that like, you know what I'm talking
What's hobgoblin?
about? Like that person.
Is that like
who's-
dwarf crossed with goblin? Like thicker.
I think
Will
it's just
doesn't even know.
goblin.
He's
Hobgoblin.
I think hobgoblin is just like a bigger
hobgoblin.
one.
That was my thought. It's just like a kind of beefy.
Oh,
goblin.
yeah,
Whereas like a regular goblin is
they're
like
cool.
Michael Reeves. Alex is.
You know,
like
it says a hobgoblin tends to be more about creating mischief.
That's not. That's
not
not
what you
not
want.
true.
What do we call? What do we call a big, strong goblin?
An ogre.
An orc.
An orc.
Urkai.
An orc.
Urukai. Sick.
I feel like Alex has just always been that kind of kid where it's like even if he's not in shape, he could probably punch you really hard. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just like a certain body type. Like Alex has that body type of just kind of just big.
I would just be intimidated. Just him sort of like staring me dead in the eye, I'd be very intimidated. I wouldn't even want to like get past that, you know? He's got a look in his eye that he can do.
But like I haven't really seen what Ryan's doing either.
No.
Because so Ryan McGee is one half of Super Mega. Alex Ernst, kind of known for Vlog Squad, but now just sort of does his own thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard.
I actually don't know. I genuinely don't know. I feel like any answer is just guessing.
Yeah. Especially, it's just so hard with novices. It's just like literally anything could happen.
Here's one that I don't know what to think of. Harley versus Aaron Hansen.
I think just
So Epic Mealtime. Harley came from Epic Mealtime. Aaron comes from Game Grumps and a bunch of old animation stuff.
I think that weight just makes such a big difference, and that is the weight class that I think that is the most mismatched. In that Harley's quite a bit bigger.
Bigger.
Yeah, and when I fought bigger guys, even when I land good shots on them, just because it's it's like a mass thing. If I throw my 90 kilo body at someone that's 120 kilos, it's unfair. And they will do a thing, their hand doesn't even move that fast, hits me in the gloves, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? I just got hit by a cannon. Like,
Right.
And just things in boxing, especially when you're getting close and you're just leaning on each other. Like if you weigh 120 kilos, you are going to drain all of their energy so quickly.
Just by
leaning. Like you're not meant to lean on them, but it happens, And just the kind of psychological things of being in the ring with someone that's that big. I mean, good on Game Grumps for doing that. I don't think I'd be able to do it.
Yeah, I really respect everybody who's doing this. Like seriously, like anyone who sort of sees this anything as like other than just like impressive is a jerk. Like this is some serious like discomfort, like being completely out of your zone, trying something that you probably never thought you would have done in your entire life.
In front of a lot of people as well.
In front of a lot of people. Like it's gonna be hundreds of thousands of
I mean,
people.
and Alex isn't even in his own country.
Like
No, yeah, that's the thing.
Right.
I'm just hoping I get enough time to kind of
Yeah.
acclimatize. That's why I'm arriving 2 weeks before. So,
It takes about that time just to.
Just
that's
jet
what I'm
lag
saying.
alone.
yeah, jet lag fucks me for a week usually. Like,
So then we've got internet comment etiquette versus DJ Welch. I actually don't know anything about DJ.
no, neither. I think he's mates with Odd Ones Out.
So internet comment etiquette, that is Eric. He is known for his like I don't know, how would you describe his videos?
It's kind of it's like a bit like reviewy, like he kind of
like trolling people,
Yeah.
reviewing like social commentary while trolling people.
yeah.
He's also the Salvia guy who did Salvia and then
With the
stared
cat?
at his windshield.
Wait, is
When the
he
cat jumps
Salvia
on the
guy?
windshield of the
That's
car, and he's
Eric.
like,
That is Eric.
"That's him."
I did not know
Yeah, go.
Eric was the Salvia guy.
So there's AB from the H3 podcast, and then Hundar. I don't really know. Is Hundar a streamer or something? I don't really know.
No, I don't know who either of.
Cow Chop. Oh,
I think Honda's going to win that one just based on how they look.
the pictures are like. He just looks like a.
Yeah.
Then we've got Yodeling
Oh, that's
Haley and
exciting.
Just a Minx.
Yeah.
I don't actually know who Yodeling.
No,
Haley
she's a
is.
TikTok girl.
Just a Minx is like a giant. though.
She's. I feel like you say a giant, but this is just us. She's
like 6 feet.
I don't think she's 6 foot. I think she's like 5'10" or something. She's just like slightly tall for a woman. Like,
I saw there. I watched part of a
Giant.
stream. Oh, 5'9". Okay, maybe
Will's
not.
just spreading lies
I don't
and
know.
misinformation.
it's because you watched a stream with Michael Reeves and her.
Hobgoblin. She's like a hobgoblin.
a monstrous woman, 5'9", enormous.
I have honestly, the most respect I have is for these two girls. Like, what a freaking like, completely out of your water. Like, this is uncomfortable for the guys. I can't imagine how
Yeah,
the
good
girls
on
feel
them.
signing up for this, especially being the only two.
No, it's going to be a fucking hilarious event. And it's going to be nice as well that it's not all like the other ones I've briefly watched. It's like the cringiest people, like the people you just hate. Like the TikTok events are just horrible. Like everyone's so egotistical and so fake. And you want them all to get knocked out.
You can't tell, is it real or are they just trying to do what they've seen on TV in the past?
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
kind of doing a shitty job.
No, so it's
Ryan and Alex, Matt and Dad. I did a thing in Odd Ones Out.
We already said it's an.
who do you think's going to win
Michael
that?
He said it's
Who
already.
do you think's going to win
He's
that?
already said it's an unfair fight. Like Alex
Odd
is
One Out
definitely
or
losing.
I did a thing?
Oh, I did a thing. Honest opinions. I don't care what you say.
If someone pointed a gun at my head and they said that they would murder me unless I picked a winner, I think I would go with you.
Yes. You're not just saying that because you know me and you have to say this.
No. I feel like Odd Ones Out is more sort of reserved. Maybe I want to say like more, he's like kind of more of like an introvert and you're more extroverted. And I kind of feel like maybe, I don't know if that matters too much though.
It doesn't. There's when at my gym.
Once you do enough training,
Yeah.
it probably
There's a
is
kid
like-
at my gym who's 15. He's 6 foot and he's an introvert. And then he doesn't really speak much. But as soon as you get in the ring with him, and as soon as like you tap him once and you kind of like wake him up, he's a fucking
break that.
monster. And you
Oh
just
my
like all you have to do
That's
is
so
like
scary.
you have to peel the tape off so he's like, okay, I don't feel bad anymore, and then
yeah, that's what it's literally like. And like this kid's 15 and like the older fighters, like people are like, nah, I don't want to get in the ring with him. Like people are just like,
So he waits for you to hit him, so it's legally self-defense.
yeah, that's what it is.
yeah.
No, I think it's a bit of the adrenaline and like in the reasons you're like, oh, okay, I can hit this person now that they've hit me.
Yes,
you know.
exactly.
Oh my god.
So yeah, my gut says to vote for Alex, but that also scares me, the fact that I think that way, because that's kind of like a trap.
No, it's not, Will. That's the correct
Wait, why is it a
answer.
trap?
Well, because you like you're like under, like you're sort of underestimated.
I just don't know
Yeah,
anything
you know,
about Odd Ones Out. I just don't know any like
No, neither, honestly. That's the
Yeah.
thing that's like you can't
he
underestimate
could show up
people.
and just
Like,
be a monster.
Yeah,
A
he could be
demon.
fucking...
The kids are all the people that watch him. The kids are gonna have a hard time watching him. Rip him in half.
After he squishes
Yeah,
my head,
exactly.
you know?
He just-
Like-
Oh god. Like
He
the
just
mountain.
turns Alex into a paste.
Just goes to prison after this.
What do you think the like day after is gonna be like?
Uh,
Because I'm gonna hopefully be there for like the 2 weeks leading up to it, and so I'll be able to get like kind of live that pre-boxing experience with you guys. But I'm curious, what's sort of the worst spar you've had, and what, it took 5 days? Like the next day you're basically just bedridden. Like
that was my like training process. Was like as soon as I got a coach, my coach was like, "Look, the most important thing is like fuck hitting a bag. Is you need to get in there with someone." And just start sparring.
You need to start getting your
and
ass
kicked and just learn, like, because your first instinct is fear, like you run away to get over that. But so I was doing normal sparring for, 6 months. And then only recently in the last month, I've done like proper, like hard sparring, 5 rounds, 2 minutes, which is what it's going to be. And when
So what's the difference? What's the difference between like beginner sparring and like hard sparring? Is it just sort of closer to like an actual match?
It's close to the match, but it's just the intensity of how hard you're going. Because obviously when you're punching, you can choose to like tap someone or you can choose to throw get your weight behind it and go as fast as you can. And when you're doing that...
So this is more like throwing real punches?
Real punches. You're trying to knock, like you're sparring and trying to knock the person out. And that...
So otherwise, you're just trying to like get into them. You're not actually trying to hit them. And now you're like
now you're trying to actually get your weight behind, throw your punches, and then your brain also you understand that person's trying to do the same to you. So the anxiety level in the fight takes a lot out of you, and so it's a completely different fight when you're scared. So if you're scared,
it's like stress.
It's stress.
It's like a stress
It's
fight.
literally like 3 times harder, and it's like 5 rounds of 2 minutes. When you're scared is like the hardest thing I've ever done. It's like harder than a 90-minute soccer game, like sprinting the entire time.
It's probably just like a consistent adrenaline rush. Like you
Up
literally,
and
your
down.
body's just like just like constantly like.
But in
filling
terms
you
of the
up with
next day,
adrenaline.
you
Just, like,
get pretty fucked. Like if you get hit a lot in the head, you'll just feel like you've got a bad hangover. Like, which is probably that's just concussion, isn't it?
No,
Nah,
at this
you're
point, it's probably
good.
better not to know because you're gonna have to.
You're good.
I mean, you're talking straight, so.
Am I?
Yeah, no
Now.
slurred
Am I?
words yet.
I agreed to come on this podcast, so I'm not talking straight, Will.
Well, talking straight and making bad decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna start speaking in an English accent after it's done. You're not gonna sound Australian anymore. It's
That would
gonna
be
like-
sick. Apparently that's happened to people, hasn't it? Something traumatic
Has it?
brain injury, and the guy's got like an Irish accent or something. Have you heard of that happening?
Just spontaneous. I've heard like spontaneous accent changing.
How does that work?
Don't know. Maybe there's an Irish part of your brain that gets triggered or something.
All the nationalities. They're just different parts of your brain.
The fight is May 14th in Tampa,
Yep.
Florida, at the Yinling Center.
Yep.
That's the beer. There is a live stream. We're doing free promotion. Do you want to promote it? Or you want me to
Yeah,
promote it?
you can.
either
You're a good talker, Will. You can promote it.
Okay. It's Ian. It's Ian's thing. You're doing part of it. Honestly, this to me is just going to be as close as it gets to kind of like a VidCon experience. You can get tickets to the stream on thecreatorclash.com or tickets to the event, but I think they might be close to sold out, if not sold out already.
But that's why I
There's-
want some I Did a Thing fans there, because it's going to be all American, so Odd One's out. The other people that have made their announcements already, they're going to have a lot of fans in there. So
Have you announced it?
I imagine on
You're
Twitter,
making a
my
video.
video should be coming out. Well, by the time this comes out, the video will be out. So yeah.
Alex, you'll have your
Yeah.
biggest fans there. Us.
Yes, my most important fans.
If you don't get the video done before the match, you're going to have someone post it since you'll be comatose.
Yeah, no, I'll just set it on auto post so no one has to do it, just in case.
Scheduled.
It looks like there's basically, this is hilarious. I'm looking at the seats right now. There's nosebleed seats that are like $25, and then there's really expensive floor seats that are like $500 to $1,000. And then the stream is how much is the stream actually?
Stream's a good price. It was like compared to
Yeah, the
others.
stream's really not bad. Was it 25?
I think it was 25 from memory.
$25. Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's right now. If you wait till the day of show, it's $35. So, yeah, if you guys have any interest in seeing Alex,
Win.
Yes, win. Definitely
Michael
win.
Reeves,
Win.
Hobgoblin, and I'm trying to think who people who listen to
Definitely
us
Michael.
talk, who they
iDubbbz, Michael
Definitely
Reeves,
Michael.
me.
Definitely
yeah.
Alex. Yeah, I'm really excited just to be there. I don't really know what to expect otherwise. I'm kind of almost even nervous for you guys. I do a really good job getting like empathetically nervous.
No, I reckon you're gonna get really into it on the night. You're gonna go like full gladiator, like Roman viewer,
Okay.
and just
if
be like,
if I knew more about boxing, I think I would. Like if I had more boxing experience, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea, I think I probably would be less nervous. But for me, it almost feels like it's a little bit closer to a fight to the death than it actually is. Like I don't know. Like shit, man. Well, okay, I got a question, Alex. Would you rather get knocked out by odd ones out or shit your pants with a
knocked out 100%, no question.
Yeah, I'd rather be the guy that gets knocked out.
Because imagine
if
you got knocked out, it would go like semi-viral. You know, it would be. But if you shat yourself in the boxing match, that would actually be like random news. People would just be talking about it all over the world.
What you need to do, you need to make a bunch of videos like recorded right before the fight of like all the different things that could happen to you that'd be really embarrassing, and say that you're doing it on purpose.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's
like I'm gonna get knocked out on purpose. I'm gonna shit my pants on purpose.
And,
I'm gonna do this on purpose.
And then you release it afterwards. Like I knew it. I predicted.
The bad thing about that question is you can get knocked out and then shit yourself. I'm sure that happens. So yeah.
So you have to just be on the cusp of death. You have to hold out for the
Yep.
Right.
for the duration that you're on.
You can die in the
ring.
ambulance and then you can
Exactly.
shit your
You
pants.
have to have been punched in the asshole, so it just kind of seals up, you know.
Like you guys are doing a whole weigh-in, and that's probably gonna be filmed and publicized too. I can't like. What is the plan for that? Like you just have to like fake be aggressive.
Yeah, that's the
You
funny
gotta,
thing. Is like when
I
you
don't
see
even
the
know.
people, they're so fucking angry. And originally, I was planning to fight. Matt Watson was one of the people that was potentially the first fight ups, and I was talking to Matt. I was like, well, when we're doing the weigh-in, why don't we just like look really angry, lean in, and then just start making out, just properly start making out until someone has to separate us. Like,
And then you're like,
Wow.
just
And then you
wait
go
until we're
back.
in the
I feel like
ring
if there's anybody
together.
you get to do that, it probably would be. Matt Watson
Wouldn't it be
would 100%
funny if
do
we
that.
kissed? Wouldn't it be funny if we just made out?
Yeah.
yeah,
Good
it'd be funny.
Yeah,
Like, just
exactly.
wait till the boxing match. You get something you've never seen before.
they just completely cancel the match. They don't even want to know it's coming.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing.
How dare you
That's what we're
undersell
doing.
this? I'm very excited.
Alex is gonna be shooting ping pong balls out of his butthole.
Oh, yep. Straight towards you, Alan. I'll be aiming for you.
Catch it. Catch it.
Catch it with your mouth. All right. Well, thanks for coming on,
no
Alex. If
worries.
you guys want to see Alex get ripped in half by Odd Ones Out, you can go to thecreatorclash.com and buy in-person tickets if you want to come to Florida or already in Florida, or watch the stream for like $25 if you buy it before. And I know like this whole event is anything over paying for the event is going to charity. So buy a ticket, buy a streaming.
Do it.
pass, Watch Alex get.
Alex win. Watch
may
Alex
win.
get win.
You know, win
Get
at
win.
getting
Get
wheeled
win.
into an ambulance.
But at least if I have my thumbs up, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thumbs up means you haven't shit your pants yet.
All right. We'll see you guys on Patreon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.